But yeah, I saw Ahsoka the first two episodes.
Ahsoka. I saw Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in it. She plays the green
Yes,
bitch.
she's in it, and the makeup looks really bad. I was like realizing that the makeup does not fit. No, it doesn't.
Why?
It looks
Because you
weird.
can tell she's white underneath it, and she's not
Well,
supposed to be.
it just looks like makeup. It looks really fake. I mean, that's like I don't know. I didn't like when
So
I saw the original.
it's more like fake up then, right?
I don't know. It's like this is I'll go over my
Is that a
overall
term
notes for this
that's
show.
used when shit looks horrible?
That could be, but
Wait, it's CG. You know, they're not even putting
no,
makeup.
it's makeup. She's in makeup. She's got prosthetics on her head. She's in
How do you
makeup.
know? You saw like the making of?
Well, she has these fucking. I don't know if you heard of. You probably don't. You don't know Star Wars lore, but you know Twi'leks.
No, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. If I have to choose a franchise, I'm going Lord of the Rings, Hobbit.
But I mean, you probably seen the Jabba the Hutt scene, right? Like in Return of the Jedi, where he's got like the dancers, and they have like those ears. Like I don't know if they're ears, but they have like long dreadlock alien things. They're called Twi'leks.
No, they're like tentacles.
Yeah, they're like tentacles. You know what I'm talking about, like his like dancers.
Yeah,
and like
you're implying I didn't see Return of the Jedi?
I'm asking. I mean, I don't know if you say you don't know Star Wars. I'm wondering if you know Return of the Jedi.
I don't know, like
New
the
Star Wars.
third fucking Disney series that came out last month. I know that. I know up to when that British motherfucker Ren Stevens took over. Then I kind of lost track. I saw I saw Luke suck off some alien and got cum in the face, and then I kind of checked out after that.
Oh, the blue milk.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was bad. That was the worst one. I mean, the other one after it's worse too. The first reboot movie
you can't
wasn't
have
terrible.
a worse twice. There's only one worse.
Yeah, I would say ultimately the second movie, like, just put it into the dumpster, and then there's no going back from it. That kind of thing, just equally flatlined. But that character, like we're talking about with those little tentacles, that's what Mary Elizabeth Winstead is. She's like a tentacle character. So she's that race. And I don't know what Ahsoka is. It's something similar because she also has tentacles. But yeah, my overall notes for this are the pacing's really slow. There's no
notes or just mental.
I actually wrote down notes in handwriting here. Wow. There's no charisma.
That. That's more attention than probably the average idiot.
Oh, I wrote down all the beats. I wrote down all the beats in each episode. It's actually less than you'd think in the first episode, and then more kind of happens quickly in the second episode, but it's still just a slow pacing, no charisma. There's only one actor that's interesting, and he actually died. So he's dead in real life.
Do you think you'll do any more Indiana Jones type cut edits?
Well, it just came out, so I could think about it. It came out to download through my networks, but I have to kind of wait until I can get a copy from like a Blu-ray or something to really put out an edit. That's like a little bit more legit, but I don't know. It's like I was thinking about it. I just like I don't know. I don't know if there's any fix in that last one. Maybe. I mean, some of the scenes are just so long. Like I think I could fix that. It's like they have these chase scenes that go on for 20 minutes that you could cut down to like 5.
Sounds like padding.
Padded. Yeah, but it's like I don't know why you'd pad that. I don't know. It's
because it's what do you mean why? Because they're fucking the corpse of something that's been dead for like 10 years trying to drum up content. That's
I guess I have to watch it and really think, is there anything I even like think is redeemable about it? Because like the Crystal Skull, the one that I did do an edit on, there are some like redeemable things in the movie, and then midway it kind of starts to suck, and that's where I was like editing like crazy. But like, there's some decent stuff in there. I can't think of a lot of decent stuff in this new movie. It's just he's too old. He's too old.
TV show or a movie?
in the new movie. I mean, as a TV show, I'm sure you can make this into a cartoon that would be good.
Oh, so there's an. I thought. Oh, I thought this was a TV show. I didn't know it was a movie.
Oh no, I'm talking about Ahsoka. Well, I was talking about Indiana Jones right there, but back to Ahsoka. Yeah, it is a TV show. Overall, also I thought it was too clean. Everything like looks a little too clean. Where if you think back at the original Star Wars series, everything kind of felt very lived in. That was, I think, a big charm of the original Star Wars movies was that it felt real, just because everything kind of looked dingy. It just
Yeah,
looked
it was just
real.
enemies. Everything was grimy as fuck.
Yeah, but even like their spaceships, they weren't like shiny, sleek spaceships. They looked like they were the back of a dumpster. You know what I mean? It looked
Well,
real.
no, what the fuck?
Like
The
that trash
villains had
compactor
really
scene,
nice,
like
new, sleek shit.
yeah, the prequel stuff had sleek shit. Is that what you're saying?
No, like with the stormtroopers, the Empire, they had all sleek shit.
I mean,
But
their
had like
their
dingy crap.
uniforms were sleek, but like the Death Star, it's got all these fucking cracks and crevices. It didn't really look. I don't know. It didn't look that sleek to me. If that was like
Well,
a
they didn't
modern
finish it.
day,
It was unfinished.
I guess so. It's like if I was thinking if that'd be like a modern day spaceship, like like the Death Star, they'd make it like completely smooth. There'd be like no cracks. It'd almost be like a UFO where there's no seams. Like it felt very different. But I definitely thought it was too clean. But overall, the whole show does look nice. It's good filmmaking, good cinematography. That does look good. I don't think the makeup looks that good, but if I'm gonna give it a compliment, I think it's actually shot pretty nicely. Also a big thing that I was noticing that's a concern is now I've seen Clone Wars and I've seen Rebels. This whole show is like assuming that you've watched all of this shit. So I don't know if that's a smart idea because it's like how are you going to get new people in if they've never seen any of these cartoon shows and like have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. That's what I noticed like off the bat. Like who the fuck would know any of these characters they're referencing if you didn't see these things? And they don't go into any way to explain it. And I think that's very stupid. Just assuming so it's like almost this is made for the fans of the shit already. So I don't know if that's a good idea.
What bands? Like, I don't
Well,
remember Ashoka being a big fucking draw in any of the movies up until this.
Ahsoka's not. That's Ahsoka's from the Clone Wars. Ahsoka's from the Clone Wars. It's a cartoon show.
Oh, so is
That
this
is
almost like a live action adaptation?
all right. So the cartoon show was kind of made by this guy Dave Filoni. He was like a big proponent of the creation of that show, and then then he got involved with Mandalorian, and then he kind of force fed all his cartoon characters into all this shit. So that's sort of what happened. So you would have to like Ahsoka does not go into any of the main movies that have happened, which is the George Lucas ones. It's not there. It's kind of a retcon character. They've added it in. She's Anakin's Padawan, but if you watched any of the main movies, you would never hear heard reference to that at all. I mean, do you know of Anakin having a student? Have you ever heard of that?
I thought he killed them all.
Oh, that was like the little kids, but he had a personal student that is not shown in any of the movies. Which you think if it was like it's shown in the Clone Wars that it'd be part of the movie series, but the whole character was invented after the prequels. But speaking of that character, it's a likable character in the cartoon. She's a very bubbly character, kind of a fun character, and Rosario Dawson does not do that at all. I don't know. I can't blame it on her. I'm gonna blame it on more like the direction, but she is boring as shit. And I was realizing I think Jedi are just boring. They're boring characters. Like I know you want to make them very like stoic Buddhist kind of like monks or something, but it's boring. And she was kind of fun. and she now just feels like another boring
Do you think
Jedi.
it was like her choice or just the writing and whatever?
No, I think it's all the writing. I can't blame it on her. No way. I think she actually could do
stuff. I think she's good. Well,
yeah,
I think
and you know how she's kind of like
I don't know about
actually
acting wise, but she looks really good.
But you know how like she's kind of like I mean this is a bad movie and not a great role either, but I'm just thinking of like the energy of the character. She's like kind of bubbly in that Clerks movie. You know, she's like kind of like bubbly and sort of fun. That is sort of what I would think that this character would be like, and I almost kind of think that's why they cast her. But then she's just doing a boring like Obi-Wan Kenobi type character, where it's like boring. I mean, that's the same thing with like Ewan McGregor. He's a very charismatic actor, and then they put him in the prequels, and he's just fucking boring. You know, like I think that's an issue with a lot of the prequels and all this shit, where Luke was not boring because he was like a young kid. Obi-Wan was hardly in those movies, and he's sort of just like the wizard old guy. He's like a mystic, so it's not that boring. But every other Jedi we've seen has just been kind of boring. Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson. It's very flat characters. I know a lot of people blame that on George Lucas because George Lucas is not a great director of people. He's a good ideas guy, but director probably
yeah, he's
not.
more about just the writing and special effects and editing than dealing with actors every day all the time.
Yeah. And also the main character of this is not Ahsoka. It's Sabine Wren, who's a character from Rebels and very pixie dream girlish. I have to say she's attractive. She's kind of
who's that?
Kind of
Can
like
we get a can we Google an image? Because I don't know.
I will show I'll show her here. Her name is Natasha Lou Bordizzo. She's Australian. She's Asian. I think she's Asian and white.
Australian and Asian.
Yeah.
That's a pretty lethal combination of stuff.
Yeah, here's her in Rebels or not Rebels. Here's her in Ahsoka. She's the main character, and yeah, she really is. It's a very noticeable. Also, it's like it's not just her. It's a girl boss show. It's all about the three Rosario Dawson, as Ahsoka, Sabine, and then Hera, Mary Elizabeth Winstead there. And then also like another bad guy character. Well, I guess it's a bad girl. Is this girl here, Ivana Shakno, who is kind of like in the series. She looks like a better looking younger Maggie Gyllenhaal. So I kept in all my notes. I have her as Maggie Gyllenhaal. She's definitely better looking, but had a similar look there. At least I thought so. That's like what came to mind was her right here. You see what I'm saying or no?
About what?
Am I crazy? That she kind of looks like a better looking younger Maggie Gyllenhaal with like a blonde wig on.
I don't know. I've never paid much attention to Maggie Gyllenhaal. Is it Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal?
I got no clue. I got no clue on that one.
We saw Jake Gyllenhaal in the
I saw that motherfucker.
It's fucking random and weird.
Walking around.
With some really thin model-looking bitch who had no tits.
They're way shorter than you think too. All these actors, they're tiny.
Well, I thought Tom Cruise had like he had
like 3 feet tall.
Like his contract that he needed an apple cart on every scene, and he needed the actress.
He's wheeled around in an apple cart
for him.
Yeah, he has to stand on a couple apple boxes.
A couple.
Yeah, he's got to stand. Yeah, I mean, really,
doing it.
Most of these actors are only 3 feet tall if you meet them in person. But there's one guy, Ray Stevenson, the guy who died. I will say this: he's the best. He's got a small role. Of course, it's the only like male role, which is funny. But he's definitely the most interesting character. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't think I've ever seen him.
Thor movies.
Oh, he was. You're right. He is.
He played the like dwarf looking guy who was not a dwarf, but I could tell they were going for that.
Wait, is he like a friend of Thor's or
shit,
something?
I'm Kill the Irishman is actually a great movie. With
Oh, he's dead, but this guy died, by the way. I think
Laura
maybe
Ramsey's in that movie, and
could have been a
she's definitely
vaccine
got the best
thing.
part of anyone.
Yeah, it could have been a vaccine thing, but this guy died 3 months ago. Sucks.
Oh, he had some heart complications.
They're not really releasing it, but he did die, and you know, he's definitely the most interesting thing on this series. He's kind of like I wrote down Sith, but I don't think he really is. He's sort of just like a bad Jedi. But also it's like there are no Jedi, so he's just
bad,
kind of a.
as in like he's evil, or bad as in like he's just a shitty Jedi.
I think he's just sort of working for the bad side. No, he's just kind of working for the bad guys. But I don't know if he is a bad. I don't know. He's interesting at least. I mean, I guess he's probably a Sith. I'm gonna put that in the Star Wars lore classification.
We should probably check out these stars before they were famous.
I could put that up. Let me see. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But let me put this over here. I'll put that up. That'll be the next thing we talk about. But yeah, I wanted to go through this stuff. I want to talk about episode 1, Beats. This is gonna be spoiler territory here. So basically, episode 1 got these 2 Siths that board a ship. They kill a bunch of people and they release a prisoner. And the prisoner was, I guess, taken in by Ahsoka. Then Ahsoka gets this. We see her in an Indiana Jones type scene. Speaking of that, she's in this Indiana Jones type scene where she's retrieving this map. It's like a Rubik's Cube type thing, but it's totally like Indiana Jones, where there's like a puzzle and she's got to solve it. And then once she's out of it, there's these droids that are after her. It's kind of very Indiana Jones. It makes you wonder. I bet you they would have sued if Disney didn't have the rights. Then we meet Hera, she talks to her about the cube, and Hera is Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's also from Rebels. You really have to see Rebels to know who they're talking about. They keep talking about Thrawn and Ezra, and Thrawn's kind of like this bad guy that's stuck in time. Let's see. I know there's some pictures here of Thrawn. He's sort of There's Mary Elizabeth Winstead too, by the way. Don't you think her makeup kind of looks fake? She just looks fake. I just don't buy this as a real character. I buy this as a human in makeup.
Yeah. With some
like
steampunk goggles and.
Well, I know a lot of people said this, and it's true. It looks
What's
like
that
cosplay.
shit on her left arm or right arm?
This shit right here.
The fucking
the Purina logo.
No, the other shit.
Yeah, the Purina logo.
The what? Purina?
Looks like the Purina dog logo, but
dog chow shit. Yeah.
In the original movies,
that's
there's
what these
Rebel.
Should be eating, right?
I mean, in the original movie, there's Rebel leaders that are wearing this patch with these 5 dots, which probably didn't mean anything at the time. But now, since you only have that movie to go off of, they put this as a patch on her jacket.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
Because there's,
because I mean, Red Letter Media's talked about this, but Star Wars is creatively bankrupt, so that's why they just have to go off of anything that was in those original movies, and they have very little to go off of. Let's see if we can see Thrawn. There's Thrawn. He looks like what's that guy? He looks like that guy from the Star Trek show, Data. He looks like blue Data.
Nightcrawler, but old.
Yeah, like Nightcrawler mixed with Data from Star Trek. But yeah, he's kind of like a big thing in the book series, where he's like kind of the next. He's sort of the next general of the Empire. He's kind of a big deal with that. But the book series got thrown out when Disney bought it, which is all the stuff actually people liked. They like threw that all out. And now they're kind of like, since no one likes their shit, they're like slowly bringing it back in piece by piece. That's essentially what's happening. But yeah, so they're trying to find Thrawn, who in Rebels. took Ezra. This is like the end of the series. The end of that show is good. I do like Rebels, so I kind of know what's happening when I watch this shit. But if you've never seen this shit, you'd be so confused. Then we see Ren, Sabine Wren. She's just on a speeder, and there's punk music that's playing while she's just on this speeder, and it's a really weird scene because I didn't realize that in the Star Wars universe there's like punk music.
What's
There's like
punk
some
music?
like punk rock. Like she's listening to punk.
Oh,
It's
punk.
like
I thought you said pump.
no, there's like punk music, and I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I
like
was
an
like, what the
alien.
fuck is pump music? Like lifting
There's like an
music?
alien singer, but it's just like obviously supposed to be like punk, like we know it. But I don't know. It was really weird. It took me out of it.
Yeah, it
Makes me think of
sounds awful.
yeah. I mean, like like there was always that cantina bar in the original Star Wars, but it felt like kind of alien ish. Didn't feel like
What would you compare this to, like Rings of Power level shit?
oh, this isn't that bad. It's not. It's not like a bad watch. It's just kind of boring.
Oh, it's got an
Rings of
8.1 rating. That's pretty high.
Yeah, and I mean, even like the Rotten Tomatoes had I wouldn't say it's like bad. It's actually like okay, but it's definitely a slow pacing. It's not like horrible, but it's not like good either. And also, it's very it's very girl boss because this girl is just like they're letting you know she's a rebel without a cause. She listens to punk music. She doesn't want to take any orders, that kind of thing. And then we see her go back and do like watch a hollow message, which is Ezra before he left or went missing. So again, if you had no clue the fuck Ezra was, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Who's this?" You probably
Ezra.
When you hear Ezra, you have no clue probably what I'm talking about, right?
Ezra Miller.
No, better Ezra. Ezra Bridger. Bridger, I think was the last name.
Oh, I'll be right
But
back. I have to get some water.
oh yeah, do your thing because you're not gonna know what's going on anyway. Then Sabine meets Ahsoka. She kind of comes because I guess Sabine is the only one that can open up this Rubik's Cube thing she found. And maybe asking like why is that? I don't remember Sabine being like a puzzle solver or anything like that. So I was like, okay. And then I think Ahsoka tells Sabine that maybe this is a way to get to Ezra. So then instantly, like, I don't know, Ahsoka goes to the bathroom or some shit, and then Sabine steals it and then on her speeder again, listen to punk rock. And then she solves the cube, of course, because she's the pixie dream girl genius. And then as soon as she solves it, as soon as that happens, the droids show up with the Maggie Gyllenhaal, younger Maggie Gyllenhaal with the blonde wig Jedi. And then there's a lightsaber fight between those two, which is a girl lightsaber fight, which I heard I heard before this. One of the news articles I saw was like, oh, we're gonna get to see we're finally gonna get to see two women lightsaber duelists. And it's like, was anyone asking for that? Did anyone give a shit about that? I didn't. I didn't care. It's like, I don't know. I've definitely realized how boring Jedi are. That's really made me notice this. Just there's a boringness to them. Let's see if we can find some of this. Yeah, here we go. Here's that lightsaber fight. There's a lightsaber fight between these two, Sabine and no clue this girl. She's not been named. I see she has a name in IMDb, which is very Star Wars because she has some alien name, but there is no reference to this girl in the show. It's not mentioned. It's only mentioned at one point where the bad guys tell her to go to Lothal, which is this planet that Sabine is on, and this is kind of where this is set up. So it is set up that she's going to be showing up there, so she does. And there's a fight, and then at the end of it, Sabine gets stabbed right in the chest or in the stomach, like Qui-Gon Jinn. And guess what? It doesn't matter anymore. This is also fucking crazy. Drives you nuts. It doesn't matter anymore that you get stabbed with a lightsaber. Doesn't matter. That's where the show ends. You think it's like a big cliffhanger, and then you watch the second episode because they released the first two at once. And then the first episode, she's just in bed. She wakes up. It's like a fucking scratch. No, a lightsaber now is just a scratch. Ever since Disney's taken over, lightsabers don't matter. If you get stabbed in the stomach, you're fine. That's it. This has now happened a couple times. There was a character in the Obi-Wan series that got stabbed in the chest. No problem. You're alive. It's just Liam Neeson's bitch ass is dead. That's kind of what happens there. And then this second episode, actually, let me I can play some of these clips here. But the second episode I saw was directed by Seth Green. And that was a weird choice. But yeah, this is actually a lot of this second episode I'm seeing here. Second episode is Sabine Wren just wakes up, no problem, just a fucking scratch, no issues. And then we see those two Sith who got the Rubik's Cube from Ahsoka, or no, from Sabine. They're putting in some kind of ruins. I don't know, doing shit like that. And then we find out that that droid is still in Sabine's room. These droids that attacked her, and they're still there. So for some reason they're there, and then they kill that droid and they data mine it, and then they find out that it came from this rebel or Republic now, the New Republic facility. So they go there and they find the Jew this guy who's always played a Jewish lawyer, or he's been in just a lot of things. If you've seen his face, you completely know he's just like always a Jewish guy, and it made me think like, oh, I guess there's Jews in space now. There's
Who's the
Jewish
actor?
lawyer. His name is Peter Jacobson. You see this guy? I'm sure if I show you him, you'll know who he is, or you've seen him. I was like, this takes me out of it.
Was he on
You ever seen this
Entourage?
guy? I feel like he was on. I mean, yes, probably. He gets a lot of like bit parts. He's never like a main character, but he always gets a lot of bit parts. I remember him on Ray Donovan. I think he was a lawyer on Ray Donovan. That's like where I think of him. He's in. He always finds his way into stuff. I think he also might have been on Walking Dead too. It's like he's been in stuff. One of those, yeah, Fear of the Walking Dead. He was in that. He's not a bad actor, but it's just it took me out of it. And then it's this like rebel facility, and he's kind of doing inventory, which I guess is also sort of, he's basically like the accountant of the rebel base. So another Jewish part for him. And yeah, so we then cut back to Sabine. She's in the hospital. She got stabbed by a lightsaber in the previous episode, and they take off the bandage. It looks like a little, looks like a paper cut. So lightsaber wounds don't mean anything now. Basically, just was a paper cut for this girl. I mean, girl bosses get it done. Liam Neeson, he's gonna get killed. He ain't worth shit. And then we find out that this shipyard that they're at with this Jew lawyer guy, I guess they used to be an Empire base, and then there's some ship that's taken off and has hyperspeed or some bullshit, and then a fight ensues, and of course Ahsoka wins, and then they track that ship, which goes to this fucking big circle thing from Elysium, kind of like that. Remember that circle halo thing from Elysium? This looked exactly like that.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Elysium was ripping off Halo.
Oh yeah. And then Sabine cuts her hair and decides she's ready to join Ahsoka. And that's pretty much where that movie ends. Or that episode ends. She cut her hair off and she's ready now. She even sends Ahsoka a message saying I'm ready. So yeah. And then we see also, this is like an awkward thing with this whole show. We see her like checking out this mural, and it's I don't know, it's weird because the mural, you would think they would make a mural that was kind of like lifelike. I think it comes up here. Here's this mural, let me see. Yeah, this mural right here. It's like it's drawn in the style of the Rebels show. And it's like if you're gonna have these like mural to like honor people, why would you make them look like a cartoon? You know, like why would you have your mural look like a cartoon? It's just a strange choice.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
The show looks like, you see how these characters look in the background? That's how the show looks, like the cartoon show, but I think you'd still probably make them look like real people. I don't know. I thought it was a weird choice. Like, why would there be a mural, like a cartoon mural, that's like supposed to be like respectful? I don't really think that would make sense in the real world. I think it's fucking strange. Oh yeah, so she cut her hair here. So now she's ready. Yeah, and that's Ahsoka episode 1 and 2. Not good. Can't say any good things about it. Buy that Disney stock. That's what I'll say, because this shit's gonna be taking it down.
Well, the fact that it's better than Rings of Power level is saying something good about it.
It's better than Rings of Power, but Rings of Power was just like about nothing. At least there's like something going on here, but still not. I couldn't say it's good. I couldn't recommend it. I'll say that. I couldn't recommend it, but it's not like it's god awful. It's not She-Hulk. It's not Rings of Power. Actually, there's something fun about She-Hulk just because of how bad it was. I'll say that. That was kind of fun.